Hi, welcome to my stream, and Merry Christmas to everybody. And my plan tonight is to decorate my wee little tree. And Melissa's here. I had some technical issues a minute ago, and I rebooted everything and refreshed, and that scared me. So let's see how we're doing. I'll give it a second. But thank you, Melissa, for being here. I appreciate it. And hopefully, hi, Susan. So great to see you. Mary Lou, you made it. Cheers. Yes, cheers, cheers, cheers. Yes. Everybody's coming in. And, well, I don't think I'll be sitting, but this is wonderful. Hi, Candy. Hi, Arlene. Thank you so much for being here. And Mina and Sherry Vaughn and whoops, and my cat, Lily, just jumped on the chair. And it's so good to see all of you. Cheryl, awesome. Beth, wonderful stream. Candy, of course. Clint, nice to see you here. So my plan was to spend my 30 minutes or so decorating my tree. I have my, we're on, okay, the camera's over here. Whoops. I have a t-shirt on. You know, teachers wear teachers have a lot of Christmas paraphernalia. And my cat is rubbing up against the computer. Lily and I suffered a loss, as maybe some of you, a loss of a pet, which is not as serious. But anyway, she's a little lost. And okay, I'm going to start. Hi, Ruth. So good to see you. Awesome. 2 years ago, I decided to buy a Christmas tree. When I moved from my mom's house when she passed away, I decided that I would never really ever have a Christmas tree again. And I should have listened to my father's advice when he said, never say never, because I needed a Christmas tree when my grandsons came to visit 2 years ago. And I'd given away everything, every single decoration. So I went to Michael's and I bought a small, this is a 4-foot tree. It got, not a really good rating. And I decided if I spent some time, hi, Janice, I spent some time, fluffing it up and doing all of this, it would be fine. There I am. Okay. And I proceeded to make about 25 to 30 decorations. I bought a box of plastic decorations just in case, which I couldn't find today. And they were the most hideous plastic decorations I think I've ever seen. And I don't even know what I did with them. Let me just say hi. And so I'm going to show you some of the decorations that I've made. And we'll start hanging them. And I wish I could have Christmas music on in the back, but we know that would, the YouTube police would come and haul us away, and poor Mary would be in all sorts of trouble, and we don't want to get Mary in any trouble at all. So a lot of these decorations I made using popsicle sticks and the Jenga blocks from Dollar Tree, the little, I'm going like this, you can't see me, the little Jenga blocks. And I will show you how I made some of these. I'm going to start with this one because I just made this one today. And let's see if I can find the camera. Whoops, I'm sorry, folks. This is a photograph of my mom that was taken in 1923 when she was 2 years old. I think Arlene's here, Susan, as a mod. Arlene, raise your hand if you're in the house. Okay. She was here a second ago. All righty. Here's Arlene. Weather is ugly here. All right. Would anybody volunteer to be a mod? I know this is a real issue. Anybody? I know. I'm sorry. I have trouble with mods. I know they've been necessary recently. It's only for tonight. It's not a lifelong. We're not getting married. We're not engaged. I just need you to be a mod for tonight. Oh, you're there. Okay. Thank you, Arlene. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. All righty. I know you're good. All right. Thanks for looking out for me, folks. I really appreciate that. Okay. I thought so. All righty. Anyway, this is my mom, 1923, 2 years old. And if you get a look at that scary, scary Santa, and she's got little leather gloves on. That's the part that endears me to this picture of her. So I put this in a little shadow box, and that became an ornament. So we'll hang that on the tree. All right. I made this one today. It's a bird from cut out from Graphic Fairies. It's a red bird, and I put it on a real live branch, so we can hang that on the tree. Then we'll stick that up here. When I was growing up, I was raised Lutheran, and we did Christmas. We opened our presents Christmas Eve, and I always contended that was because my parents didn't want us to wake them up on Christmas morning. We would go to Christmas Eve service at the church, and they would do the whole procession with a nativity scene. And they would have, I think, the three tallest men in the congregation would be dressed up as the three wise men, and they would walk down the aisle. And as a 6-7-year-old, you would just be speechless as they solemnly walk down the aisle of the church as the three wise men bringing the gifts to baby Jesus, which was myrrh, frankincense, and was it gold? Frankincense is actually was a embalming fluid. I mean, I know that sounds gross, but in reality, that's what it was. I learned that later on in life. Let's see. Here's another one I made. Kind of like, I'm sorry, the lighting is so bad. I'm afraid if I move the camera. Let's see if I can do better than that. Okay. This is on a tripod, and I'm probably making you all sick. All right. Another one I made. Obviously, when I said another one I made them all. So who am I kidding? They're all handmade. Here is one that I made out of popsicle sticks. This is a Tim Holtz, the stamps that he has that are like blueprints. And I just stamped that on some popsicle sticks and covered it with packing tape and glued the sticks together. And it really makes kind of a cool ornamento. And these are made out of the Jenga sticks. I really like, I glued those together in a little box. And behind that is a die cut of trees and one of those little tiny Christmas trees. And it really is kind of like a mini diorama. And I stained, the stain I'm using here is my favorite stain. which is shoe polish. So here's another little, these are fun to make with the die cut and the Jenga blocks. I'll hang that over here. I was going to pop some popcorn, but didn't get around to it. Here's another Tim Holtz stamp with the Nutcracker. And I stamped this on tissue paper and then glued it onto some popsicle sticks. And there's another nice ornament. And I obviously colored that in. Obviously. Hang that. Okay. Here are some these are actually cutouts from a paper pack that I had. And I just made the box out of the Jenga blocks and glued them on either side and made another one. So these were not hard to make. And once you get in the swing of it, it's a lot of fun. And of course, you can't have a handmade Christmas decoration without the wooden sleigh that's made out of popsicle sticks. And I was going to give this to my mailman because it has this little picture here actually came out of the post office's catalog for Christmas. And he never got it, unfortunately. And I even wrote thank you on the back. So that's another a neat ornament to make. This one took a little bit more time to make, but it was fun to make again. I'm going to turn this light on over here and we'll see whether it washes this out or not. Let's see. Yeah, that washes this out. Okay. I have another. Let me just turn another light over here real quick, folks. We did a test run on this earlier today, and we'll see. I apologize. I'm not real tech savvy on this, but we will muddle through. All right, another one. This is another kind of diorama. Again, with the same die cut. That one kind of looks pretty cool. And that again, those are the blocks, and I used a glue gun to glue those together. And I bought those little tiny hooks and eyes. Yeah, I kind of like that one. It's kind of neat, isn't it? When you go back and you look at your Christmas decorations, and it's like meeting up with long lost friends because you haven't seen them in a year, or maybe a couple of years, and all of a sudden, like, oh, I remember that decoration. I wish I had saved, the decorations that I got rid of when I moved. If you have kids, I don't know about you, but my kids always made the poodle decoration with the 2 medicine cups and stuff like that. And I threw all of that out. We even had some of those beautiful glass blown ornaments from Germany. I got rid of those. This one actually was something that came out of the postal catalog, and I just copied it. I just made it into this little envelope, Dear Santa, and I stamped it. And I thought that was kind of fun. Again, you can, anything that you see, you can cut out and glue on to a piece of wood. I bought a box of these discs that you can buy. You can buy them, they're not that expensive. and you can just glue stuff on them. And this was just a sentiment. I think that came out of a paper pack. And these are nice because they come already with the holes in them, and that's kind of cool. Are we hanging in there, folks? I hope so. And this one, I just stamped right. I keep on showing this. I'm sorry. I stamped right on the piece of wood on both sides, and it actually worked. Stick that one there. Here's another one from the paper pack. A lot of those paper packs come with the advent calendars. So I took the 25 and put that in a little box. So we would go to church Christmas Eve, and when we got home, we would go to bed. When I say we, my older brothers and sisters were a lot older than I, and we would go to bed, and I made this little log cabin, again, out of the Jenga box. That one came out pretty cool. And a little chimney. And all of a sudden, I would hear, ho, ho, ho. And I thought Santa had arrived, because in the German tradition, Santa, arrives Christmas Eve. And then all of a sudden, my parents would say, Santa's been here. And I would get up. Now, I've gone to church. I've been put to bed and trying to sleep, which is impossible. And all of a sudden, I hear this deep ho, ho, ho. And we would get up, or I would get up, and there would be all of the presents. And we would open the presents. But in the morning, I had all my presents, and my friends were just opening their presents. So I literally lobbied and for opening our presents in the morning, like all my friends did, because I felt that I was kind of the outlier here, opening presents Christmas Eve, because none of my friends opened presents Christmas Eve. So here's another little, I guess these really are dioramas. And so I always contended, as a snotty adult. When I say snotty adult, when you're 18 to 21, I look at myself as being a snotty adult, because I know everything. My parents are dumber than a box of rocks, and then obviously all of a sudden they're brilliant. But I always contended, being very cynical, that the only reason we opened our presents on Christmas Eve was so they could sleep in on Christmas morning. And I don't think that was the case. I think that was the family tradition, which I didn't really understand at the time. I didn't understand tradition. Because when I became a parent, we opened our presents in the morning, but sometimes you almost wish that you opened them up on Christmas Eve, because, the kids are getting excited, 4 o'clock, if you're lucky, 4 a.m. And we always, they opened their stockings first. And then their father would open the stockings with them, so I could get another, I don't know, a half an hour sleep, because I'd been up half the night putting stuff together, because my ex was not a putter-togetherer. He was not good at putting together all of those toys. How are we doing there? Tradition to sleep late, yes. Oh, you got to open up one on, yeah, a lot of my friends did that. They got to open up one, and you got to pick that one. Yeah, just taking the time. Well, thank you, Mina. I had a lot of fun making them. Let's see. Oh man, 5 kids. Whoa. I only had an older brother and sister, and I don't remember fighting with them over that stuff, 12 minutes. Thanks, Mary. I will talk slower. Just kidding. Just kidding. This one is one of my favorites, and I'll tell you why this is one of my favorites. This drawing of this little tree is a drawing that Barb Owen did, and she demonstrated this illustration and made these simple Christmas cards on craft paper. And it's a very simple, as you can see, I hope, that it's just squiggly lines with a little white, gel pen on top to look like snow and a little star. And obviously the one I made on Christmas cards was a lot bigger than this, but I had to make one as a Christmas ornament because I just love the design of this. And the inspiration for that was from Barb Owen. So thank you, Barb, if you're out there. We're thinking of you. We'll stick that one up here. Okay. Then I attempted to, no, this guy is scary ugly. Again, a lot of these I just made up on my own. This one is actually made out of 2 clothespins. I know it's pretty scary. That I separated and I glued together and kind of colored a little face. And obviously it's supposed to be a skier. And it's, well, that's what it's supposed to be. I made one of these dressed up as a Pittsburgh Penguin because that's my grandson's favorite hockey team. But this is a downhill skier. Doesn't have to be pretty, right? It's just I think the expression on his face is about right. That's probably the expression I would have on my face if I were skiing downhill. I've only done that once, and I didn't break anything, so I figured I wasn't going to push my luck or do it again. Hi, Aunt Beck. Hi, everybody that's come in. I'm sorry. We always, it's hard keeping up with chat, and we all know that, and we all sympathize, and then we're critical of those of us that don't do it, and we have no business being critical because it's a hard thing to do. All right. Here's another one. And I just stamped, this was a stamp that I made that I just stamped on one of these plugs. I bought these wooden things and I thought I would carve on them like with wood carving things, and that didn't really work out that well. I'll stick that here. And again, these are ones I just made. Just cut out, with a circle cutter, piece of black craft paper. And cut out the letters Noel. Again, some of these are so simple, but so fun to make. Whoops, I'm sorry, folks. And I really encourage you to, kind of explore what you've got. I know probably many of you have Christmas paper packs and, popsicle sticks, and that's about it. Hi, Shelley. So good to see you. I appreciate you stopping in. I think you probably have some things on your plate. I'm so sorry I missed your sales. Totally missed them. Here's another one. Joy. I love the word joy. You know why I love it? Because it's so simple. 3 letters. 3 letters. And it means so much. Such a simple sentiment. Joy. Just joy. We had the Episcopal chaplain that we had at Holy Trinity. Her name was Joy. What a perfect name for a chaplain. Joy. This one, don't ask me why. but it was a Jenga block that I decided to carve into a little sailboat. I just felt like carving, and I carved this wee little tiny sailboat. And that's what it is. It's just a tiny little sailboat that I decided that I would carve. Who knew, right? That you could carve. Those Jenga blocks, obviously, they're solid wood. All right. A couple more, folks, and I hope the time is holding. This was a embossing folder, an embossed folder that had some trees. And I just glued it on one of these wooden discs. Again, Jenga blocks again. Wrapped present. And of course, you could make these. Oh, thank you. You could make those in any color that you wanted. Arlene just said that I have 1 minute left. So if you don't mind, I would like us all to take a moment and just give a minute of prayer to Lisa and her family. I lost my brother this year, so I understand it's not as devastating as her losing her husband. But let's just take a moment of silent prayer for her and her family. I'm sorry. I'm usually pretty good about this. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm so confused. Oh, well, I'm sorry I got all emotional, but that still doesn't mean we can't take a moment to think about Lisa and her family. I wanted to save that for the last because I didn't want to bring anybody down. But I know we're all thinking about Lisa and her family. Joy. We need a little joy. There we go. Another joy. Three blocks. 3 words. 3 letters. Joy. Joy to the world, right? This is a lame attempt at doing a nutcracker, and this was out of popsicle sticks, coffee stirrer sticks, and my, I guess, nutcracker. The Mary's nutcrackers are awesome because they are movable and the mouths open and close. So we'll stick that up here. I made this star this morning. This is just gold paper and staples. Here are some more from the graphic fairies. Again, just cut it out and put a little rivet in it or grommet. Hanging on like, there you go. And this is the last one I've got, so I guess I'm going to end a little early, and I apologize for that because I've been always harping on the time and stuff, and so sorry, I'm sniffling. Can you see that? That's my brother sitting on the lap of Santa Claus. That was my grandfather, who was a Santa Claus for Macy's in New York. And Jimmy told me later on that he knew that it was Grandpa Jim. But that's Jimmy when he was 3 or 4. And so that's one that I cherish also. Okay. So I hope you guys, if you haven't made ornaments, which I'm sure you all have made ornaments, I can't imagine that you haven't made ornaments, go out and go forth and make some ornaments. And I wish you a joyful, happy holiday and healthy. And take care of yourselves, okay? Bye, all.